I did a video a few weeks ago where I used only the Doll 10 products, and I'm telling you, it was a hit. I had so many views, which meant you loved it. You were watching it. Great comments. So naturally, I thought, why not do another full face of another product? And as you saw from the title, I'm sure, today I'm doing e.l.f. And actually, I thought I had everything I would need for a full face of e.l.f. But you know what? I'm missing a couple of items. So and there's a reason for it. But I did a makeup clean out recently, and I threw away a couple of things. Well, more than a couple of things. I threw away a lot, but I threw away a few things that I still liked, that I still used, and I just threw them away by mistake. But here is my little box of e.l.f. products, and this is sort of my new system. I have some shelves in our closet, a cabinet, where I've try to keep most of my makeup and keep it organized. And I found these boxes of all places at the Bell's outlet. And I'm sure Marshall's may have them, and maybe even TJ Maxx, I don't know. But they come in a couple of different sizes as far as height. And I want to say some of them came in packages of 2, some in packages of 3, and they were in varying heights. So it was just perfect for my makeup. I can see what's in it. I can see the brand that's in it. And I've been keeping everything in the box except for my foundations. And I want to be able to see my foundations. So they're sort of in a different place. But today we're going to do e.l.f. And as I said, I have get my mirror turned around. As I said, I'm missing just a couple of items, and I will replace them. So, and let me know if you really do like this kind of video where I do a full face of one brand. Let me know in the comments what you would like to see, and I'll do them. If I can get the product. I have a curl here that's loose. Yeah, if I can get the product, I'll do them. I would prefer not to do anything that's extremely high-end. I may have a high-end foundation or a high-end, I have a hair, or a high-end eyeshadow, but I'm not going to go out and just purchase a whole face of, say, Dior or Lancome or something like that. Needs to be reasonably priced so that most of us can afford it. All right, I think we're going to start with one of my, as of right now, I think this is in one of my top 5 foundations, and this is the e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation. You know, I've been trying other foundations, but I'm telling you, every time I go back to this, I remember how much I loved it and why I loved it. And I know many of you love this too. Not everybody, as I've said all these years here on YouTube, not every single product is for every single person. Just because it works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you. We just have to try them. We have to read about them. You know, look at the ingredients, read reviews, and decide if it's something that we want to spend our money on. Don't just go blindly buying it because I recommended it or because any other content creator here on YouTube recommended it. So since I haven't used this in a little while, I'm going to see if I can sort of maybe shake it up a little bit, although it's really, this is a liquid, I would say like a liquidy, a thick liquid, like a liquidy cream foundation. Hit my head, I think, with the curling iron a few days ago. Have a little red spot there. I'm not sure what that is. But we are going to put it on one of my little palettes. And I know I'm going to need more than that. I like a brush that is pretty dense. And this is one of those little Menage brushes. And I believe I have those linked below. They're very, very, very inexpensive. You can get a whole great big set of them for just a few dollars. And I'm telling you, I've had these probably now for those of you who have been around 6 or 7 months, maybe longer, and they're doing just fine. They're doing great. So I'm just gonna work it into my brush and apply it. And you can apply this really thin if you want to, or you can apply it a little bit thicker to get a fuller coverage. I have my earrings on. I need a little bit more foundation. I'm not applying very much to this palette because this palette is so small. I need room. But yeah, I need to get out of the house today. Run a couple of errands. And funny story right off the bat. Yesterday, since Biscuit had his encounter with the cat injury, he has not had a bath. And so it was time. It was past time. And I made an appointment with the PetSmart to take him. And so I took him and came back home. And when I stepped out of my car yesterday, it was, I think 1 o'clock was his appointment time. When I stepped out of my car, after I pulled into the driveway, I looked down and realized I had my house shoes on. Those house shoes I reviewed, that the 2 pair, there was a green florally pair and a blue pair. Well, these were the blue ones. Had them on. And I came in the house and I told Jim, I said, well, I've done it again. I wore my house shoes out. And he said, well, you know, I don't think anybody would notice those, Patty. They're they look a lot like shoes. I wouldn't worry about it. So I said, well, okay. I'm not going to worry about it. Too late now. So they called about 3-ish and said he was ready to be picked up. And I said, I'll be right there. Jim was sitting in his chair. I said, okay, I'm going to go take my house shoes off, not go to PetSmart with my house shoes on again. He said, Patty, nobody cares. He said, if I didn't know those were your house shoes, I would know those were your house shoes. He said, I wouldn't care. So I said, well, you know what? You're right. I wore my house shoes on purpose. I get to PetSmart. I get him paid for. I'm walking out the door with him. And of course, it was one of you recognized me. Nancy. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Nancy. Nancy and her sister watch. But anyway, you know what the first thing I thought about? Oh my gosh, I have on my house shoes. So of course I told her, I said, well, you know, of all days, you caught me with my house shoes on. And we laughed about it. So, yeah. You never know. I had this friend many years ago, and I know I've told this story before, but every time she walked out of her door, she was perfect. From the top of her head to her feet, she was perfect. For a long time, we would run early in the morning. Normally, what we would do is we had a certain place where we went to run, and we would come back home and get dressed, but the way it worked out, I was further away, a little bit further away from her. She would be on my way to go there, so I would leave my house, 4:30, maybe 5 o'clock in the morning. I would leave my house, go to her house, pick her up. We would go run, then I would bring her back. And I would get up out of bed and throw something on, get my running shoes on, and in no way would I match. I would have no makeup on. My hair, I would maybe brush my hair, maybe not, but pull it back in a ponytail. Go run because I knew I was going to take a shower when I got home and get dressed to go to work. Well, I would pick her up. She would walk out of her door and she would be perfect. her little outfit matched perfectly. Her shoes matched her socks, matched her shorts, matched her shirt that she was wearing, or whatever she was holding her hair back with. Makeup, she was perfectly. And one day I told her, I said, you know, I think I just hate you. And she said, well, why? Or something like that. She knew I was kidding. And I told her, I said, you know, you're just always perfect. And she said, she sort of leaned into me and she said, you know what? I sort of feel like you have to dress out for every game because you never know when you're going to be called on to play. And that has always stuck with me. And I would never carry it to that extreme of having to be perfect when I walk out the door, and perfectly coordinated in every sense of the word. But I've thought about times that I would run into I've run into a future boss in the grocery store before. I've run into men that I would have liked to have dated before. And I would always think, would I really and truly want that to not to be put together in some shape, form, or fashion? Would I really want that to be their first impression of me? If I can at least look halfway decent, then maybe I'm okay. You know, if they're a potential suitor or if they're a potential boss, then maybe I would want their first impression of me to be just a little bit better. So, I'm not a fanatic, but I would prefer to be presentable when I leave the house. Let me put it that way, presentable. One of the things I like about that foundation is that it dries down pretty fast. So, one of the things that I don't have. So I went with another drugstore eyeliner, and this is the Wet n Wild breakup proof, waterproof, retractable gel eyeliner. And I'm going to be listing all of this for you, but as I said, what I'm missing, I'm going to replace. You know I can't talk while I do this. Okay, big difference, right? Makes my little short, stubby eyelashes appear to be a little bit longer. Or maybe even a little bit fuller. Okay, this is the Perfect 10 eyeshadow I've pulled out of my box. Those are my colors, and as you can see, I have really hit pan over here. I have my little color swatch. So, clean my brush, and I'm gonna try to go into this light color. I don't know how much I can get because I've really hit pan. And this is the deal, it's why I don't like palettes. I'm only using maybe 2 or 3 colors out of them. And the rest are just wasted. Clean my brush again. I'm going to go into, I just want something simple as usual. I think I'm going to go into this color right here. I don't know what that is, but we're going with that. These colors aren't named. Blend it out as best I can. Oh, I know one other thing I need to do is sort of dust my eyelashes in case I have any oils or creams there. I think I'm going to find a little bitty small brush. Hold on. I'm going to go into one of these darker colors. But in case you are new to my channel, let me see. I'm not a trained makeup artist or esthetician, or I'm 82 years old. I've been doing this for 60 some odd years, and this is what I've learned. This is what I've learned over the years that works for me, and I've tuned it and tweaked it, and I'm always changing it. But I have really studied over the years my face and my proportions and my eyes, and I've tried to apply my makeup in a way that enhances, and it changes because my face is changing. My face is, as I've aged, it's drooping and oh my gosh, really drooping and sagging, and the wrinkles. And so it seems like I'm always playing around with different techniques to see what is working for me that day. I have the e.l.f. Lash and Roll Mascara. There is another new one, and I can't remember the name of it, and I think that's something I threw away also. Is it called Boom? I don't know. But we're going to use this one. I like to get the tip of my eyelashes, or the tips. Some of you are going to ask about this. This came from the Dollar Tree. At my age, I really don't want long, spidery eyelashes. Used to. And the lashes on my left eye are longer than the lashes on my right eye. Do you have things like that? Brows. This is my e.l.f. Instant Lift Waterproof Brow Pencil. Now, my favorite brow pencil is the e.l.f. Instant Lift in the non-waterproof. It's the original. That's my favorite, but I have, I think I've used the last one of those up that I had, and when this one came out, I purchased it to try it. I like the other one better for sure. Never had to tweeze my brows in my life. It appears that I have no tails on my brows, but I do. They're just blonde. You can't see them. But and I think this is taupe. The color is taupe. I know that many of you have heard me say this. I've been saying it for a long time. But there are some wonderful, wonderful makeup artists here on YouTube. And gosh, they're good. And I've learned things from them for sure. But I've also know that there are no makeup police. And there's no fashion police. There's no hair police. We live in a country where we can do what we want to do. I don't think there's a law on those things. Our eyebrows are not twins. They are sisters. Okay. I think I'm going to go back into my eyeshadow. And I'm going to... I just think I need a little bit more. So I was using this color. I'm going to use this color right on my brow bone. I like to tune and tweak. Okay. This is something I desperately need to replace. It's my e.l.f. contour palette, cream contour palette. And this is what it looks like. So you can see, this is my favorite color. This is my favorite color. That would be my next favorite of bronzer. And I'm going to use the same brush that I put my foundation on with. And I'm going to go into this one and just dab it just a little bit. I have the turkey neck. Do you have one too? Raise your hand if you have a turkey neck. See if I can disguise it just a little bit. Just make sure and blend it in. Smooth out the edges. See if there's any. Well, not really. Try a little bit more. Okay. I need to replace that when I'm at the e.l.f. section. I'm going to use my same brush. I have wrinkles and I have sagging. And I do get a question from some of you some of the time asking if a particular makeup or product settles into fine lines and wrinkles. And that's such a difficult question to answer because for the life of me, I don't know how it can't. Because if you do not have any facial movement whatsoever during the day, then maybe no. But if you're moving your face, you're squinching and you can see the wrinkles and it stretches that out. And I've never understood how there could be a product that didn't settle or you could see the lines and wrinkles. This is the e.l.f. Camo Hydrating Camo Concealer. And I'm just going to use this little brush right here. Over the past year or so, maybe longer, I have really, really favored cream products over liquids. And I think the reason I like this is because it's really thick. And it's almost I get pretty close to the same result with it. Okay, I'm going back to my eyeliner. And let's do a little on the bottom here. Smudge that out just a little. Many of you also will ask me if something lasts all day. And, I'm retired. I don't need it to last all day, so that's not even important to me. I mean, many times I go in and remove my makeup and sort of get my face ready for bed in the afternoons. So it doesn't have to last. If I'm going somewhere in the evening and I need to freshen up or reapply some things, I just do it. Okay, let's see what we're going to do with lips. Now, I do have a lip pencil from e.l.f., but I couldn't find an e.l.f. lipstick. So this is Cream Glide Lip Liner. We'll make it work. I really do like this color. Did I say that I took my, I took my Olive and June gel nails off a couple of days ago to let my nails rest. I just have clear polish on them, and I tell you, my nails were just getting in such good shape. I mean, really, I'm really liking this. I did buy 3 new colors, and I don't have them in here, but I didn't like them. I ordered them off of their website. Well, I've only actually tried one, but I didn't like it at all. I think for me personally, and again, maybe for you, I have to watch what colors I put on my nails, because I think I do have old hands, let's face it, but I've found that some shades just make my hands look older. They make my skin look bad. They pull out. I don't have a whole lot of dark spots on my hands. I mean, I have this sunspot right here that's, I don't know if it's a sunspot or a freckle there and one here. I drove for years in my job, I drove every day, and being in the sunshine, I'm sure the sun coming through the window, that's sort of where it hit. That may not be what it is at all, but you know what? I've had those forever. But I don't have a lot of spots. You can see my veins, and my hands are getting, as I'm aging, they're starting to get bony. But, hey, I have hands and they work. That's the best thing, is they work. Maybe I couldn't have said that when I was in my 20s or 30s or 40s, or maybe even my 50s. But I'm happy to have them, and I'm happy they work. Unlike my hips, which is another story we'll talk about in another video. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to do. We are going to, now, let me get all of this picked up. Did I forget anything? I don't have a lip gloss or anything to put on top here. So we're just going to have to live with that. But we can get these rollers out of my hair. I tell you, I need a haircut. Because I wear my hair up 99.9% of the time, it really doesn't matter. Some of you are thinking, oh, Patty, wear your hair down, wear it down. It drives me crazy down. And I had someone just recently, hold on, allergy. I had someone in a comment just a week or so ago. Her comment was so nice in suggesting that I try a shorter, stylish, trendy haircut. And I just can't do it. Not going to do it. It's just not who I am. I'm just pinning it up like that. Many years ago, I decided to cut my hair into a really cute, trendy shortcut, and I hated it from the minute I walked out of the salon and said never again. It's just, I'm just not a short-haired person. I'd rather pull it back in a ponytail or pull it back like this or put it in a bun or anything. I live in Florida. This is Callista from QVC, the Embellish Finishing Spray. I like this. I don't know, it was on special, maybe a Today special last year, I can't remember, and I think I went on automatic delivery for it. I'm no longer, but I do actually have a couple of cans in a stash, but I won't. Would I buy it again? I would, but I'm not going to have to for a long time. It doesn't make my hair stiff, but it gives it some body. Okay, that's it. You guys are the best. You're just the best. I appreciate you so much. And I'm so glad I ran into Nancy yesterday and got to chat with her. And it's always so much fun to meet one of you when I'm out and about and you're out and about and get to know you a little bit and talk face to face. It's too bad that we're spread out all over the world and we can't get together and have fun. Oh, there's little spots going through. Oh, well, I don't care. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you for being a part of my family. Thank you for being kind. I appreciate you. I really do. Again, I hope you'll be kind. Be kind to yourself so that you can be kind to others. Take care of yourself. Know that I love you, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye. Oh, and by the way, let me know if you want me to do more of these videos where I do one whole face. And if you like that, let me know which brand of makeup you would like for me to do next, and I'll come better prepared. All right. Bye-bye.